It's finally here. The official trailer for Season 4 of The Crown is upon us, and boy, their marketing team have done it again. Both this and the recent teaser are expertly edited, have a great musical score to accompany it, and give you a sense of the tone of the season without ruining any key moments, which I think you would agree is what all trailers should do. Join me today as we discuss the key points of this new trailer before Season 4 drops on Netflix on November 15. But before we get into it, I'm covering all of the latest updates for The Crown, plus I'll be dropping my review of the season shortly after the premiere. So if you haven't already, be sure to spank that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified the moment it's uploaded. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt Rogers. So let's start with first things first. I believe this is the first time we are hearing Gillian Anderson's Margaret Thatcher, and I'm loving what I'm seeing and hearing so far.
I think we have enough respect for one another personally to ask ourselves some of the bigger questions, woman to woman.
Thatcher had such an iconic voice and accent, which she was harshly criticised for. I remember that scene in The Iron Lady when her PR team arranges for vocal lessons to remove the quote-unquote screech from her voice.
Main thing is your voice. It's too high and it has no authority.
Methinks the lady doth screech too much.
I was talking in my last video how my favourite parts of the third season were Her Majesty's private audiences with the Prime Minister. Now in Season 3, for the most part they got along, and most of their dialogue was coming from a relatively even playing field. But this time round, I don't think that's going to be the case. This line alone is very telling of their dynamic, and what we can come to expect.
We are the same age after all.
Really?
Just 6 months between us.
Oh? And who is the senior?
I am, ma'am.
The subtle tone of condescension is deafening, and I don't think this will be the only example. We even get a glimpse of their polarising perspectives regarding the Queen doing what she's told, and Thatcher rustling feathers and making powerful enemies.
Not if one is comfortable with having enemies.
Are you?
Oh yes.
The stage is certainly set for these two powerhouses to go head to head. By the way, I don't know if this is common knowledge, but Gillian Anderson is actually dating the show's creator Peter Morgan. I was reading an article recently and Anderson said that she promised Morgan that she wouldn't comment on the script if he didn't comment on her performance. But anyway, I digress. Next we switch focus to Charles and Diana, and the pressure that's placed on Charles to ultimately choose a woman who may become queen. Diana is seen bringing a breath of fresh air to the family and surprisingly confronts the Queen regarding her love for the family. Princess Margaret also weighs in on the matter and is seen looking rather melancholy, which her character arc has been headed towards for quite some time. In a recent interview with Helena Bonham Carter, she said that her character takes more of a backseat this season, however she does get a solo focus for one episode, and my bet it is going to be an emotional one. One face we don't see too much of is Prince Philip's. It makes me wonder how much of a role he will play in this season. He's had his fair share of episodes based on him specifically. One that springs to mind is the moon landing episode in Season 3. I do wonder if he'll have any more like that. Let me know what you think in the comments. One comment I see a lot of on my videos for The Crown is the lack of historical accuracy. Now, I'm no royal expert and I've only really started researching the royal family in recent years, but I can also appreciate the hurdles the writers must face when composing episodes and entire seasons. Keeping the audience engaged is surely priority number one, and sometimes that can come at the cost of accuracy. But for me personally, I like that they do touch on the main events of the history of the royal family, and the on-screen text that sometimes works as a kind of epilogue for some episodes, it's a nice touch and kind of grounds that episode's events in fact. Now let's skip over Season 4 for a bit of news on Season 5. Imelda Staunton will be donning the crown for the final 2 seasons, and she recently spoke with This Morning and shared her thoughts on the role and the pressures that come along with it. Take a look.
Is there pressure for you to impersonate as opposed to act?
Well, there's pressure from every angle. I'm following 2 extraordinary actresses, but I'm also following one extraordinary human being, which is the Queen.
I can't wait to see the first promo images of Staunton made up to look like Queen Elizabeth II. She of course will be in the role until the final season, the 6th season. And yes, there will be a 6th season. It was cancelled for a brief period, however Netflix and creator Peter Morgan went back on that and said they decided a 6th season would be necessary not to rush the final events of the show's conclusion, and I don't think anyone's complaining about that. Season 4 is less than a week away, so let me know what you're most excited for. I'll be down there chatting to you guys in the comments, but be sure to subscribe for weekly videos covering your favourite movies and TV shows. If you subscribed during this video, then welcome aboard, and if you had a good time hanging out, then spank that like button. This is Matt Rogers, and that is all.